Welcome. Welcome to the Hear Me Out podcast. I'm your host, S.W. Griffin. We're going to be talking about Dr. Umar Johnson and his potentially being a deadbeat dad. And we're going to be talking about his daughter and the things that she brought to TikTok to kind of slam him in public. And we're also going to be talking about interracial marriages. This is one of the things that Dr. Umar Johnson always talks about. Black men should only marry black women and all that old goofy unbiblical stuff. And I say it's unbiblical because the Bible doesn't teach it. But let's just get into it. So hit the like and subscribe button, please. Hit it, and so that you can be updated with more videos when they come out. Let's get busy. You're listening to the Hear Me Out podcast with your host, S.W. Griffin. Hey, I'm the truth detector. I'm here to tell the truth. No doubt about it. Hit the like and subscribe button, okay? Hit the like and subscribe button. Hey. So, Dr. Umar Johnson's daughter got on TikTok recently, and she just slammed him for practically being a deadbeat dad. She said he's never been in her life. He hasn't been a visible part of her life for years, and all she wanted was a conversation with her. We're going to play this clip real fast, but let's sum things up. This is a man who's always trying to down brothers for marrying out of their race, and he's into all this black African with a K-ism, stick to your own people, this type of stuff, which is unbiblical. It has no biblical roots over it. In fact, if any of you out there who are Christians, you need to read Numbers, the 12th chapter, and it talks about Moses marrying the Ethiopian woman, and his sister Miriam said, "You can't be a man to God because you married that black woman." And God came down in a pillar of a cloud, in a cloud and a pillar, and stood in the door of the temple and called all three of them out, Moses, Aaron, and Miriam, and said, "Moses ain't no regular guy now. He's not no regular dude that I talk to like most prophets. I talk to most prophets in dreams and dark speeches and sayings. But Moses, I talk to him face to face, and a similitude of the Lord he shall behold. So wherefore were you not afraid to speak against my servant Moses?" Now Miriam is the woman. She's the lady. She started the whole racist thing. And God heard it. God was ticked off about it too. God came down in a pillar of a cloud and stood in the door of the temple and said, "Okay, this is how you're going to play this, Miriam." Boom. He cursed her with leprosy, and she was leprous white. She was so white, she was leprous. Now, if you know anything about the Bible, at that particular time, all the people in that part of the world were brown-skinned people or dark-skinned people. They were brown-skinned people. The Egyptians and the Israelite people at that particular time were all brown-skinned people. But Moses had married a woman who was even darker than that. She was Ethiopian. She was black. Ethiopian people are black people. She was black. And they said, you ain't no man of God because you married that black woman. So all this stuff about interracial marriages and God caring about that is irrelevant to God. You bring that mess to God, and you might get cursed with leprosy. You start fooling around with the wrong people, a man of God, and just because he's married to a white woman, a Latino woman, you start talking that crazy stuff, you might get cursed with leprosy. See, God ain't playing about this. That racist stuff, see, the Bible, there is no word for racism in the Bible. In fact, God lumps every human being together as one race. The only word that's in the Bible that separates us from different types of people is the word ethnos. And it is the word that which we derive our word from ethnicity from. Ethnos. So when you read the scripture, in the last days, nation shall rise up against nation, it uses the word ethnos, meaning that it's not literally talking about nations rising up against nations, but it's talking about ethnic groups rising up against ethnic groups. But there is no race. There is only one race of people, and that's the human race. And within the human race, there are different ethnicities. See, you could take dogs. You have Great Danes, German Shepherds, Belgian Malinois. You have Kangos and Huskies. They're all dogs. They're all dogs, but the Husky is a different breed of dog from a Malamute. And a Malamute is a different breed of dog from a Great Dane. And a Great Dane is a different breed of dog from a Doberman Pinscher. But if you put them all together, they can breed with one another because they're still dogs. It's just they're different breeds, but they're still dogs. Their genetic makeup is compatible with each other, as with human beings. I'm black. My genetic makeup is compatible with another person who's of a different ethnicity because we're all human beings. So I can mate with a white woman, I can mate with a Latina woman or another black woman and still have children because we're still all humans, just different ethnicities, just like there are different breeds of dogs. You need to understand that when you hear people talking all this racist stuff. Because God cursed Miriam with leprosy because she spoke against Moses because he married a black woman. Now, all this stuff that Dr. Umar Johnson is talking about, it's a lot of hatred and racism involved in that. And you carry that stuff around, and what do? You get an angry, mean, discouraged life. That's what you get. You get an angry, mean, and discouraged life. But let's get into the video. I've talked a little bit too long about this. Let's take a listen to what Dr. Umar Johnson's daughter had to say.
Hey TikTok, so I just wanted to come on here with a small short announcement. I just want to start this video off by saying I'm not trying to get clout. I literally just want to have a conversation with my father. My biological father is Dr. Umar. He has another daughter. I tried to contact him about, getting to know my sister on my dad's side. I asked him if he knows her or if he has her number. He ignored me and never responded. I'm 22 years old now. My dad has never been to anything important, no graduation, no birthday parties, nothing. He has not been in my life. Again, I'm not making this video to bash him. I'm making this video to state facts. Okay? You can't get on Instagram and get on social media and portray to be an activist and talk about how black kings need to be with black women, but you're not even in your black woman's daughter's life. It doesn't make sense. You're being a hypocrite. And it's frustrating because I reached out to you. I shouldn't have had to do that. I'm your daughter. But I'm smart enough and logical enough to know that you would never reach out to me because you don't have my phone number. And I'm pretty sure you wouldn't try to reach out to me because for what? I don't want anything out of you. I want nothing but a conversation. Forget the relationship. I really don't care too much about that at this point. I just wanted a conversation out of you and you shut me down. You ignored me. You should never be too busy for your daughter ever in life. So I just wanted to make this video to just try to, I guess, somehow find my sister on my dad's side. So if you see this, please reach out to me. Please DM me because I want to know who you are. Why do I have siblings out there that I don't know about? It's unfair. And deadbeat fathers is very common nowadays, especially in the black community, right? We all know Dr. Umar reps the black community or whatever, but you can't rep that if you're not even in your daughter's life. You moving backwards. You're moving backwards. It's not making sense. To the public, you look like this person, but in private, you a whole nother person. And I'm not bashing you. I just don't understand why you're ignoring me. I'm 22 years old and you have yet to be in my life. No graduations, no parties. When I get married, are you going to be at the wedding? Are you going to walk me down the aisle? Yo, I have a stepdad who has been in my life since a little girl. He has been in my life. And I thank God for him because my biological father couldn't even do that, y'all. My biological father is not even on my birth certificate because when my mom had me, he left. And I do have a DM.
Listen, let me say this. I've heard a lot of different people's take on this particular matter, that she's clout chasing. She's just trying to get some clout, and she didn't have to do it that way. Irregardless, it may be wrong the way she did it, but she's still making some valid points that this dude is a hypocrite. He's always. I've never been a fan of Dr. Umar Johnson's, and that's full disclosure on my part for saying it. And I'll say it. I've never been a fan, because I see it as just a bunch of hypocritical racism. And I know what the Bible says about certain things about interracial marriage, which isn't a thing with God at all. He doesn't see it that way at all. But I know that it's just hypocritical. It's garbage. And so all the racist stuff, I don't even pay any attention to. But she makes a valid point about this man not being a part of her life, regardless of whether her mother poisoned her personally against him and didn't want him to be a part of her life. That is irregardless of that, he should have made an effort years ago to be a part of this girl's life. Even if he had to do it without her mother knowing about it, she probably would have had a whole lot more respect for him. I get it. It ain't the best way to do it. I understand that it's not the best way to do it. But if this girl is truly his daughter, and he has not denied it, he talking about he was paying child support since the day before she came out the womb almost, and he's got the white man's papers to prove it. The white man's papers. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to show the video of that too. He's talking about he's got the white man's papers to prove it. So he's not denying her. He's not denying that she's his daughter. See, you cannot bring up all this racial hatred. All you're getting is a screwed up, bitter, burnt out life. All you get when you be a racist and black this and black that and the white man this and the white man that and all this hatred, what do you get? You get a burnt out, bitter life. Angry, burnt out, bitter life. Just walking through life bitter with a lot of hatred for nothing. Ain't even happy about yourself, ain't happy about life. You just hate folks. I hate those white people. I hate them. Well, that's the same thing that Hitler got, and Hitler burning in hell. You got Nazis in this country that's following a God that's burning in hell. Give me a break. Really? You gonna follow a God that's burning in hell as we speak? See, there's two things for sure that I know in life that's real. There are two people that I know in hell for sure that's burning in hell right now. You know what it is? Judas Iscariot, who betrayed Christ, and Adolf Hitler. Them two dudes for sure is burning in hell. I ain't got no problem saying that. They burning in hell right now. So why you want to follow that super stuff? Why would I want to follow Dr. Umar Johnson, be angry and bitter, and he worried about somebody's skin color and God don't care? The God in heaven does not care. And you're going to take on that stuff and walk around with that hatred. See, racism is of the devil. Whether you're black and you bleed and you're racist, and whether you're white and you're racist, or you're Oriental and you're racist, or you're Jewish and you're racist, it's all from the same source. It's satanic. And it's designed to burn your heart up so you don't feel any compassion for anybody, and then you end up dying and going to hell. That's what it's designed to do. See, there are two beings in this universe that are not racist at all. One is God, and the second one is Satan. Satan is not a racism, but Satan uses racism because he hates us. He hates humans. And any type of distraction or any type of hatred that he can build up and have us killing one another, it's all more powerful for him. See, I feel sorry for people who are devil worshippers. I feel sorry for black people who are devil worshippers. I feel sorry for the rapper. I can't even think of his name right now. That worships the devil. I feel sorry for him because He got people that hate him and they're racist. And the same people that hate him are being led by the devil that he worships. The same devil that creates racism, that the same devil that creates racism and hatred and murder is the same devil that you're worshiping, and that's gonna drag you to hell and burn with him, because his final place is gonna be in hell burning too. God said so. And God ain't never been wrong. So if you're going to worship Satan, you're worshiping the very God that causes people to hate you because of the color of your skin. So he's behind the murder, the death, the racism. He's behind Nazi Germany. He's behind white people hating you. And he's behind you hating white people. You're just idiots if you worship him, because he hates you. No matter how much he gives you, his end result is to drag you to hell so you can burn forever. Stupid! Stupid! But the girl got a point. She got a point, and you need to listen to her. I don't care if she's out of order the way she did it. She's making the point that this man is a hypocrite and he's never been in her life. See, she didn't ask to be here. She's here because he and her mom made a decision to get together and have sex, and she came along. And she was birthed out of that union. So you made the decision to have sex with her mom. You should have enough guts to make the decision to keep in contact with the offspring that you chose to bring into this world. Because she didn't choose to come here by herself. You brought her here through her mom. It was your seed that impregnated that woman that brought her into the world. Take some responsibility and quit being a freaking hypocrite, man. Quit being a hypocrite and placing the blame, talking about she clout chasing and all that crazy stuff. She's still your daughter. She's still your daughter. Wow. But let's listen to Dr. Umar for a second.
Oh, I'm ready for this. And I will have my white man paperwork. I will have my white man paperwork. When can we do the sit down? When can we do the sit down? Been paying child support since you damn near came out the womb. Deadbeat who? When can we have a sit down? Child support started, you wasn't even out your mama yet, and she took me to child support. Deadbeat who? Deadbeat who? Child custody file this thick. What are we talking about? Where is Mama Smurf? Where is Mama Smurf? Can we please have a sit down? And you can fool some of the people all the time, but you can't fool the prince of Pan-Africanism any of the time. Sisters. But let me say this. The quickest way for you to get blocked or put on the FDMG Book of Negro list, the quickest way for you to get blocked or get put on the FDMG Book of Negro list, shout out to my Stockholm, Sweden Africans. I'm so happy to be in Stockholm, Sweden. Pull up Saturday. It's going down. Ghanaian independence. King Kong consciousness. But let me say this. Let me say this. If you mind my personal business, I don't care who you are, I strongly recommend you mind your business, because if you don't, you will be blocked and put in the Book of Negroes. Oh no. Oh no. As you see on my social media, I've been blocking people who think my business is their business. And if I block you, you automatically in the Book of Negroes. I'm open to the conversation. Where is Mama Smurf at? Get daughter Smurf and Mama Smurf and then Papa Smurf, and we're gonna have a nice conversation in front of the world. Let's get to the bottom of this. And I'm gonna bring white man paperwork. Oh yes, I have all of my white man paperwork. So, baby Smurf, please get Mama Smurf, and Papa Smurf is gonna pull up. But if you don't know by now If you don't know by now, if you don't know by now who the chosen one of this generation is, you must be dumb, deaf, and blind. If you don't know who the ancestor sent in this generation, I can't speak to the previous generation, and I can't speak to the next generation. But in this generation, I think we all know who the chosen one is, brothers and sisters. But like I said, the best thing you can do, or the worst thing you can do, is mind my business, because I'm going to block your ass. And you're going to be in the book of Negroes. Okay? Trying to build your struggle streamer career off of my back, coming up out of nowhere, acting like you've been looking for me. Get Mama Smurf. When can the three of us have a sit down? I'm ready for this. I'm ready for it. When can Mama Smurf, Papa Smurf, and Baby Smurf have a sit down? Oh, I'm ready for this. And I will have my white man paperwork. I will have my white man paperwork. When can we do the sit down? When can we do the sit down?
So that clip right there went on for quite a bit, and it was actually a lot longer. He went on a long time concerning Papa Smurf, Mama Smurf stuff, and he repeated that several times, trying to make a point about them getting together and hashing it all out in public, which is really irrelevant, because the thing is that this is his daughter, and his daughter wants to get to know him. He hasn't been in her life. Now, he makes the point her using his name to try to build some clout and grow her internet career, which is irrelevant again, because she's his daughter. He's the adult in the room. He should be the adult in the room, and he should be saying, okay, I got you. I hear you. Let's get together and let's hash this out. Let's talk this out. He doesn't even have to show up. He doesn't even have to invite her mother, because she's 22 years old. She's grown. She don't need her mama to babysit her while they talk, unless she just wants to hear from her mom's side too at the same time. But evidently, if he hasn't been in her life, I'm sure she's heard her mom's side of the story plenty of times. That's why she's trying to get in touch with her dad. So it's irrelevant to even have her mom there talking about anything, and him talking about bringing the white man's papers that he's been paying child support since the day that before she almost came out of the womb. That is irrelevant. It is irrelevant that she does not know him. There are many children out there that have been getting child support payments from parents that they have not seen. Now, whether her mom poisoned her against him or not is not the issue now. That's a past thing. It's a wrong thing if she did, but it's past now. She knows who he is, and he knows who she is if he's been paying the child support, and he has this thick full of white man's papers. White man's papers. Okay, we got all that. That's the end of that story. We don't want to hear about that no more. But here's the thing is, don't be a hypocrite. Go take care of your daughter. You talking about you don't want people in your business. Well, you've been in people's business for years trying to tell black men who they should marry and who they can't marry. As if you God. You ain't the God of this universe. You need to read Numbers, the 12th chapter, because God don't care about skin color. You do. And you care about it. And other black people care about skin color because they don't know the God that I know. They don't know Jesus. And if you read Numbers, the 12th chapter, you'll read that Miriam and Aaron began to speak against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman he had married. For he had married an Ethiopian woman. And the Bible says Miriam started it all. And she said, Moses, you ain't a real man of God. You're not a man of God. I'm a woman of God too. I'm a prophetess. So who is you? And you married a black woman. You can't be no better than me. And God heard it and was angry about it. Came down in a pillar of the cloud and stood in the door of the temple and said, Aaron, Miriam, and Moses, ye three come here. And they both came to the door. And he said, Where Moses ain't no regular dude, I'm going to repeat this again. He ain't no regular dude. He ain't no regular prophet. Other prophets I speak to in dreams, in dark sayings and speeches and parables, but not with him. I speak to him as a man face to face, and the similitude of the Lord he shall behold. He will see me in a similitude face to face. So why weren't you afraid to speak against this guy? Why weren't you not afraid? I ain't never treated no man like I treated Moses. And the Bible says Moses was the most meekest man upon the face of the earth. Wow. Wow, man. And see, like I said before, you need to understand the whole thing why I'm bringing this racism thing and this interracial marriage thing in this, because Dr. Umar Johnson is one of the main proponents of, oh, you black men, you should only marry black women, blah, blah, blah. But the Bible don't teach that at all. The Bible does not teach racism. It does not teach it. It does not teach it. So I'm going to give you a list of some women, famous black women that are married to white men. Famous black women that are married to white men. So this is the reason I'm going to give you this information, because Dr. Umar Johnson is one of the main proponents of pushing this all black men should marry black women. But listen, I'm going to give you a list of famous black women who have married white men. Serena Williams and Alexis Ohanian. Dirk Nowitzki, the basketball player who used to play for the Dallas Mavericks, he's married to Jessica Olsen. She's black. Actor Lauren Speed, she's black. She's married to Cameron Hamilton. Zoe Saldana, she starred in Guardians of the Galaxy and Avatar and the Star Trek reboot. She plays Lieutenant Uhura in Star Trek. She's married to Marco Perego Saldana. He's white. Gabourey Sidibe, you know, the big black chick that played Precious? Big, dark black chick. Well, she's married to Brendan Frankel. He's a white guy. Tamara Mowry, you know Tamara Mowry, the Mowry sisters? She's married to Adam Housley. He's white. Eve Maximilian is married to Eve Cooper is married to Maximilian Cooper. She's black. Alfre Woodard, you know, she's played in Star Trek First Contact. She had a beautiful role. Great actor. Great black actor. She's married to Roderick Spencer. He's black. Justin Chambers and his wife, Keisha, she's black. The great chef, Wolfgang Puck. Well, he's married to a black girl, Galila Asefa. Chris North and Tara Wilson are married. Tara Wilson, she's black. Chris North is white. Melody Hobson and George Lucas. Now, you know, everybody knows who George Lucas is. He's the billionaire Star Wars guy that created Star Wars. And he also co-produced Indiana Jones series with Steven Spielberg. Well, he's married to a black woman. Now, you have not heard not one black man, not many that I know of, that have complained about these famous black women married to white men. Another one is Vanessa Williams. She's married to a white man now. And you don't hear us black men complaining. Here's what you need to understand. We don't care. But you ain't got no right to complain about us if we marry somebody that's not black. Because you don't own us. We don't own you, and you don't own us. And you can't tell us who we can marry and who we cannot marry. If you think you can, you're a fool. You're a fool to the 10th power. Because you can't, as Superman said in The Man of Steel, you can't control me. You won't, and you never will.
Why won't you do the same with us?
Let's put our cards on the table here, General.
You're scared of me because you can't control me. You don't, and you never will.
Look, the Bible does not speak in terms of a race of people as many different races. it only speaks as one race, and that is the human race. And within the human race, there are many different ethnicities. There are different ethnicities. Just like if you take dogs, you have German Shepherds, Belgian Malinois, you have Huskies, you have Great Danes, Doberman Pinschers, Collies, and you have all these different breeds of dogs, but they're still dogs. They're just different breeds of dog. But if you put them all together in one pen, they can all mate with each other and create offspring because they're dogs. Their genetics are compatible with each other. They all have compatible genetics. Science has a thing what they call the lock and key. And the lock and key is the lock and key theory or scientific understanding is this, is that you can't mate an elephant with a pig because there's not enough matching genetic information for them to crossbreed. You can't mate a snake with a bird. You can't really mate cats and dogs because there's not enough genetic information for them to pass on their seed from one to another and create offspring. Cats are cats, dogs are dogs. But you can mate a lion with a tiger and you get a ligra. And if you made a male tiger with a female lion, you get a tigra. Well, the reason they're able to mate and create offspring because there's enough genetic material between them that they can create offspring. There's not a lock and key there. There's keys in both species that they can get together, or both breeds of cats that they can get together and create offspring. Well, it's the same way with humans. And this is why God was so angry at Miriam when she was complaining that Moses wasn't a real man of God because he had married an Ethiopian woman. Because it was not part of who he was. He is not a racist. God is not a racist. So racism is of the devil. And Dr. Umar is just a satanic hypocrite. I'm pissing some people off right now, but I'm telling it like it is. I ain't gonna back down. Racism is satanic. Hitler was satanic. Hitler is in hell burning as we speak. And you got people in this country and around the world trying to follow Hitler's teaching, and he's in hell and they gonna go burn in hell too. I'll say it again. There's two people that I know that are in hell for sure, without a shadow of a doubt. And that's Judas Iscariot, who betrayed Christ, and Adolf Hitler. Them two dudes are burning in hell as we speak. I have no problem saying that. And if you want to follow the teachings of Adolf Hitler and go burn in hell, fine. If you want to worship the devil, fine. If you think the devil can give you riches if you worship him, fine. But remember this, that same devil that you worship that may make you rich, he's the same dude that pushed slavery. He's the same dude that had your ancestors in chains that were brought to this country in chains and were slaves for 400 years. Okay? He's the same freaking dude. He's the same dude that stirs up murders and strife among all people. He's the same dude that starts wars. So you're following a dude, you're worshiping the dude that hates you no matter how much you do for him. No matter how much you worship Satan, he still hates your guts because you were created in the image of God and you can be saved and he can't. His destiny, his eternity is set. He's doomed. If there was a real guy who could be named Dr. Doom, Satan is Dr. Doom. And you want to follow that crap? You want to follow that angry racism? That's all it is. It's angry mean racism that you're carrying around. And if you carry around and harbor that stuff, it's going to tear your body down, tear your heart down, and you're going to live an angry, mean life with no substance to it. And it's going to be all hypocritical. Everything you're going to do is going to be a hypocrisy, because it's evil. And anything that's evil is a hypocrisy in God's eyesight. Evil itself is hypocrisy. Think about it. Think about it. That racism ain't gonna help you. When he married a white girl. Well, I gave you 12 famous black women, and I could have looked up more. I could have gave you a lot more, but I gave you 12 for sure that are all married to white men. And guess what? I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. If you ask me, I'll tell you I don't care, and I don't want to hear your foolishness. They can marry who they want. See, just because I'm a black man, I don't belong to you. I belong to God. You and I may be of the same ethnicity, but I don't belong to you. I don't belong to you, black woman. And black woman, you don't belong to me just because you're the same ethnicity as I am. You don't belong to me. I don't own you. You can marry who you want, and I can marry who I want. Ain't got nothing to do with you. You can't control me, and you never will. And I don't want to control you either. I could care less. That's why I'm bringing this all together with Dr. Umar, the racism, interracial marriages and stuff, because you got too many fools out there that's pushing that stuff. And it's not biblical. It is not a biblical mindset of God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Ghost. It is not biblical. It is satanic. And I'll say it again, there are two beings in the universe that are not racist. God is not a racist, and neither is Satan. But Satan will use racism and will trigger your racism and build up racism into you to get you to kill one another so you can die and go to hell. He don't care. God ain't a racist, and neither is Satan. But Satan will use racism to get you to hate people so that you'll die and go to hell. Think about it. Think about that. So think about it. I took a deep dive into this whole thing concerning Dr. Umar for a reason, because there's too much out there that has been said concerning this all black man should marry black women and black women. And it's foolishness. It's foolishness. We do not own each other. I don't belong to anybody but God. I just happen to be born black. I'm proud of being black. I don't have a problem with it. I like who I am. But you don't own me, and I don't own you. And we don't owe you nothing. And you don't owe me nothing. You can marry who you want. They could be as white as snow, or they could be as black as tar. It doesn't matter. That's your choice. And God gives us choices. It's proof of that in the Bible concerning Moses marrying the Ethiopian woman. And anybody that will refute God is an idiot to the 50th power. So I said all that because it needed to be said, and you need to get some understanding about what is right and what is actually wrong. And you can't get it outside of looking at the full scope of things from who God is and not from a man's point of view. Because there's a lot of evil stuff that men think, and they think that they're right. There's a way that seemeth right to a man, but the end thereof is death. There are ways that seem right to a man, but the end thereof is the way of death, eternal death. Think about it. God bless you. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend. And keep the peace. At all costs, keep the peace. God.
Why won't you do the same with us?
Let's put our cards on the table here, General.
You're scared of me because you can't control me. You don't, and you never will.
You've been listening to the Hear Me Out podcast with S.W. Griffin. Hit the like and subscribe button for more videos. Peace.